The hidden danger of negative assumptions. Take a listen.
Have you ever stared at a short text from a friend and thought, "Are they mad at me?" You're not alone. Negatively interpreting ambiguous communication is one of the most silent yet destructive habits in relationships. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I got a two-word reply from someone I cared about, just "sounds good." Instantly, my mind raced. Did I offend them? Was something wrong? My brain latched on to the ambiguity, a classic example of what psychologists call negative attribution bias. Here's the conflict. When we assume the worst behind unclear messages, a late reply, a flat, "okay," a missing emoji, we're projecting our own insecurities onto the other person. The technical term for this is emotional filtering. It's like wearing sunglasses that only let in the gloom, filtering out all the light and possibility. Now, you might be thinking, but sometimes people really are upset. Sure, sometimes. But if we default to suspicion, we turn every neutral message into a source of stress. Over time, this doesn't just create tension, it starts to erode trust, making us react to ghosts that only exist in our heads. So, what's the resolution? Instead of spiraling into overanalysis, try this. When in doubt, ask for clarity. A simple, "Hey, just checking, are we good?" can save days of silent worry. Remember, true connection comes from the courage to clarify, not the habit of assuming the worst. Let's dive deeper. Why do these negative assumptions push people away? Imagine a couple. Every time one partner sends a short reply, the other withdraws, fearing they've done something wrong. This is the setup for what's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. The conflict? With every wary response, both build invisible walls. The person on the receiving end feels distrusted, while the one assuming the worst grows more anxious. It's like an emotional firewall designed for protection but blocking warmth and honesty. Now, you may wonder, isn't it better to be cautious than caught off guard? On the surface, yes. But if our default is to see danger where there's only uncertainty, we end up isolating ourselves. The technical term here is confirmation bias. We find what we expect, even if it's not real. Let me ask you, how many relationships have you seen falter, not from actual arguments, but from misunderstandings that were never clarified? The real tragedy is, we push people away not because they hurt us, but because we act on imagined offenses. The way out? Practice generous interpretation. When a message is unclear, choose the most gracious explanation. Over time, this habit doesn't just protect your relationships, it rewires your brain to expect connection instead of rejection. So, how do we break free from the trap of negative assumptions? It starts with awareness. The next time you're tempted to read between the lines of a vague message, pause. Ask yourself, am I interpreting facts or filling in blanks with my fears? Let me share a technique used in cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT for short. It's called thought challenging. When anxiety bubbles up after a cryptic reply, jot down your automatic thought, then look for evidence for and against it. 9 times out of 10, you'll realize the story you're telling yourself is just that, a story. Now, you might say, but isn't it awkward to ask for reassurance? Maybe, at first. But vulnerability is the root of trust. The more we practice asking, "Can you clarify?" the stronger our relationships become. Picture this. 2 friends, both anxious about a recent conversation. One finally texts, "I hope I didn't upset you." Instantly, the tension dissolves. That's the beauty of open communication. It turns imagined enemies into real allies. To wrap up, clarity doesn't come from overanalyzing every word. It comes from having the courage to ask and the humility to listen. The next time you're caught in a web of uncertainty, choose connection over suspicion. Your relationships and your peace of mind will thank you.